Hi my angels, it's Hailey Reese, and today's video is one that I never ever would have thought that I'd be making. I truly thought the last time that I talked about this incident, it was going to be the last time. I didn't even want to talk about this incident in the very first place on my channel because I was so afraid of this woman and I was so afraid of what more could happen to me, and I really wanted to just leave it in the past. But back then, I decided to film the video on this incident because I felt like I never ever wanted anything like what happened to me to happen to anybody else ever again. Unfortunately, it has been brought to my attention that not only has it still been occurring years and years and years and years later, but that Morgan Adams had a run-in with the exact same woman who I did years ago. And this woman is not good. Basically, for those of you who are unfamiliar, back in August 2017, I filmed a video titled Black Magic Paranormal Storytime, where I shared one of the scariest times of my life with you guys, where essentially I had a run-in, or my mother had a run-in with a psychic who knew all of these things about me that nobody could have known, and things about my future, and claimed that I had blockages and darkness around me that needed to be cleared by her for a hefty price. Now, after refusing to pay that price, unfortunately, there was some sort of curse or black magic put on my home, my family, myself, and it was absolutely traumatic. So I posted that video, a lot of you watched it, and then recently, in the past day or two, I have been bombarded with tweets from you guys saying, Hailey, I am 99% sure the lady that cursed you has done the same thing or attempted to do the same thing to Morgan Adams. Now, when I first started getting these tweets, they were super fresh. It was like people watched her video right when it was posted and they saw the correlation and they were reaching out to me. So I had yet to see Morgan's video. And at first I was like, oh my goodness, I hope not. But I genuinely, to my core, had zero intention or zero thought of filming a video about it. Like I said, this woman freaks me out and I never wanted to speak on it again. That was until I actually watched Morgan's video last night. And let me tell you, the entire time I had the biggest goosebumps all over my body that I have ever had. And this feeling in my stomach that I have right now talking about this, that basically, while watching Morgan's video, it was so similar, almost identical with minor changes of wording to what I endured with this woman years ago, even down to very specific details. This woman who told me her name starts with an N, I don't know what she told Morgan, I'm not gonna say her name because like I said, she freaks me out, literally did the exact same thing that was done to me years and years ago to Morgan. And throughout watching Morgan's video, I just had my jaw dropped the entire time by the resemblance in what happened to us. So I'm gonna start out this video by inserting the clips back and forth from my video from 2017 to Morgan's video from 2 days ago, just to show you guys the main details that are super similar and just how dark this woman is. So here's the clips.
I saw this woman coming from a distance and I passed her and I got like the weirdest sensation in my body. I was like, oh my God, like something weird just happened. And she's like, hi, don't be scared. I am a psychic picking up a lot of energy from you and I can feel that God wanted me to talk to you.
So one day my mom is in Target in Los Angeles. Now a woman comes up to her and starts to say, oh my goodness, your daughter. This woman basically goes on about all these things about me, things that a lot of people couldn't have known.
So I sit down on the bench with this woman and she's reading my hand. She knows a lot about me. She knows things about me that I have literally never told a soul.
And things about my future and this and that. But then she says that I kind of need to clear the energy around me and my mom needs to clear the energy around her. So she gives my mom her card and says like, why don't you come visit me sometime? So she comes home and she tells me all about it. And for some reason, I get a sinking feeling.
But I really have an uncomfortable feeling in my gut from this lady.
So my mom comes back and I can't remember the object that the woman sent with her. but she sent something with her that was supposed to like help cleanse the house. I can't remember. It was just a positive thing.
She basically sums it up by saying, haha, like you're traumatized, you probably need help. I can help you. She was like, I have this crystal. Trust me when I say that you need this crystal. So I'm like, oh my God, okay, give me the crystal. Like, where do I get the crystal? If this crystal is gonna save my life, literally, how do I get it?
The next day, this woman calls my mom and says, okay, I've come up with this plan for Hailey to cleanse her energy. And it was like all these things that I needed. Don't quote me on it, but I'm pretty sure it was like $1,000 for all of these cleansings and things that I needed.
I run into her again and she's like, I haven't eaten, slept, or done anything because I've been too busy meditating for you and I'm really scared for you. I'm gonna tell you something right now because I really want to help you. You are cursed. And so until you buy my $800 soap, you and your soulmate are both gonna be cursed. Your life's gonna suck. You're pretty much gonna end your life right now if you don't buy the $800 soap. And yeah, so buy my $800 soap.
It was like a tea I had to drink and something I had to soak in the tub with and this and that. And just like basically a big giant scam. My mom calls her and says, look, I'm sorry. We don't have the money to be forking out over $1,000 to cleanse the energy.
Really, I'm good. As much as I want to help your little scam artist business, I'm good.
And this woman's whole demeanor changed. Your daughter needs me. If you want her to become successful, you need to do what I'm saying. The money is just like the cost because this is my job and I have to get by and blah, 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 blah. But she was very, very, very angry over this.
And she was pissed. Okay, fine. Well, like, sorry that I was just trying to help you and you're gonna be cursed and that's gonna be your own fault.
So as you can see, the similarities between just those few moments that I pulled from my video and from Morgan's video are outrageous, down to two specific details that make me feel sick to my stomach. The first detail being that this woman very obviously has a gift. She knew things about me, told to my mother without even seeing me, that nobody could have possibly known. Things that were like deep secrets of mine, things that I harbored, and feelings that I never expressed to anybody because as much as I'm extroverted, I am incredibly introverted and I don't address a lot of my darker feelings. She knew them. Same way that she knew things about Morgan that nobody could have known. So clearly she had a gift. However, she decided to utilize her gift as a manipulation tactic in furthering her gift by saying that she sees darkness around me and blockages around me and a curse around Morgan and that we require her assistance. But the second detail that makes me absolutely sick to my core is that of what she sent home with us. She sent me home with an object and she sent Morgan home with a crystal. And now she had access to within our homes and within our energies via this crystal. What is so upsetting about this to me as somebody who is really into the paranormal and really into psychic abilities and people who are able to see beyond our current physical dimension is that there's really no such thing as bad magic or good magic. It's all in how the person utilizes it. There's no such thing as a good psychic gift and a bad psychic gift. It's all in how the individual utilizes it. And this woman utilized it as a manipulation tactic. She utilized all of these details as a tactic to scare me because I knew that she knew things nobody else could know. So why wouldn't she see a curse on me? Why wouldn't she see this darkness around me? It really messed with my psychological state of mind because on one hand, this woman knows these things that nobody could know. And by the way, Morgan was totally on point with how this woman communicates. It's very like, will I see this? I can help you, but it's gonna cost you. Like very, very similar. Like when I was watching the video, I was like, yep, this is her. This is totally, totally her. So on one token, she's telling me these things that nobody could know. And then she's suggesting these treatments for this darkness around me at an outrageous price. And it puts you in this position of not knowing what to do. Well, once we declined her, like I said, in the clips you saw earlier, her whole demeanor shifted, much like she did with Morgan, and it became more of a aggressive personal attack. It became more of a, you are doomed if you don't do this, and I'm telling you right now, all I'm trying to do is help you. But the demeanor was different, and it was angry, and it was dark, and it was manipulative. Where I went wrong, where my family went wrong, and where Morgan went very right, and the biggest reason why how my story ended was very different than how Morgan's story has ended is because Morgan was surrounded by people who saw the red flags right away. And that is the best thing that could happen to her. And she was able to get rid of that object very early on and verbally say to this woman, I no longer want it, thank you, I don't want it anymore, and give it back to her, releasing her from it. Where we made the mistake is this object stayed in my house for quite some time because one of my family's biggest downfalls, I mean, I look at it as a positive trait as well, but one of the biggest downfalls is always wanting to see the good in people, always wanting to believe that people wish well on you. Because I always wish well on people. I would never wish anything dark or anything even negative on somebody, ever. So you want to believe that people would never wish that on you. In this object staying in my home, my mother would wake up at 3 a.m. for 3 nights in a row to a rat in the toilet. I started having nightmares that I don't even like to reminisce on. They were so terrifying. And I even saw, which I know sounds totally insane, and I really don't care if people believe me because I know it was the truth, and I even swore on my grandfather's spirit, who I would never, ever, ever lie in his name or his honor, that I saw these black legs with no body walking towards my bedroom. It was a terrifying time in my life. I knew that because I didn't give this woman the money that she wanted, that there was something now. And upon my mother calling to ask what the heck was going on in this sinister, slow-talking voice, like what Morgan did, this woman goes, oh no, I am so sorry that's happening to you. It must be the curse. It must be the curse. Yeah, the curse that you put. It was such a scary time, and we did absolutely everything to cleanse the space. I'm talking everything to cleanse the space. And even though it would feel better, it still didn't feel right. Eventually, my mother would call this woman and basically say, what on earth can we do to lessen what's happening here? We want to be left alone. What can we do? And a $100 fee was paid. I will send you $100.
Gave her the $100 just because I didn't want her to, I don't know, curse me.
And everything relatively resumed back to normal, and that was just that. We got rid of the item that she'd left with us, and we blocked her number, and we deleted her out of our phone, and we moved on from it. But for a long time, I was still so scared. I filmed and posted that video initially, my last video on this, in August of 2017, and that was years after it had even happened. And I was super nervous to even film that video in fear that she would see it and would curse me again or put this black magic on me again. Morgan dodged a bullet getting rid of that crystal. It is the greatest thing that she could have done, but it also makes me so sad that her experience with somebody with a gift was so dark and so evil and so manipulative and such a bad representation of people with spiritual gifts, because not everybody, despite all of these occurrences that do happen and despite people having run-ins with people like this, myself included, not everybody with a gift would ever mean harm on anybody, and not everybody with a gift utilizes it as a manipulation tactic to make a quick penny. Make a quick large penny at that, but make a quick penny. And it makes me so sad that this is a representation of the spiritual community and people with gifts, because not everybody's like that. And there are people that would want to heal you and help you spiritually without ever requesting these things and without ever meaning harm on you. LA clearly is not that big, because I couldn't believe that what had happened to me years ago was not only still occurring, but would happen to somebody like Morgan, who I love and admire so much. It was just so shocking to me and so sad to me. And I wish that you guys could have seen my face while watching this video. I had chills. I was nauseous. I sent it to my mom right away, who had chills and was nauseous and freaked out and said, that's N. And I said, yeah, that is. This literally happened to Morgan, who, I love Morgan, and I see, and even though I don't know Morgan personally, I see so much, good in her and so much trust in her, and to, think that somebody did this to her, too. I wouldn't have wished this on anybody. So overall, to those of you who tweeted me and sent me Morgan's video link, you were right. It was most certainly the same encounter. I'm so upset over it. It makes me, it really just brings back like all of my emotions that I used to feel on it, and I hadn't thought about that situation in a very, very long time. But it's still a very scary part of my life where I finally realized the powers of dark magic and the ill intent of some people with gifts. And I'm so glad that like Tila and like that everybody just knew what to do and was able to get rid of the object as quickly as possible and verbally state that she no longer wanted possession of it and she was giving it back. I really don't have much else to say. I've already told my whole story on this. I am so sorry, Morgan, if you ever see this video that this happened to you. It makes me so sad to think that somebody would take advantage of you like that, and it makes me so sad that somebody's continuing to do that. But also don't feel stupid, because there are situations where somebody can easily persuade you with their gift in believing that they want what's best for you, or believing that they know what's going to happen because they knew everything else. That is basically my response to the whole situation. I feel like I'm talking in circles now. Morgan, I love you. I am so glad that you got rid of the crystal. I hope that everything remains great, and I am sending you so much love and light and positive energy. And to anybody who ever encounters an individual like this, just trust your gut. One thing that Morgan and I both said very early on in both of our videos is we just had a bad feeling. And when you meet somebody who spiritually wants to help you, you should never have a sinking feeling. And so just trust your intuition in any situation, and never allow somebody to make you believe that your life will be terrible if you don't drop thousands of dollars into their bath things. Well, you guys, that is it for today's video. I'm sorry it was all over the place. After I watched her video, I felt super compelled to make this video, to talk about this. It is something that I feel like needs to be talked about more, because it's happening to not only people like Morgan and I, but to so many people, and it's really devastating. So that's it for today's video. If you guys are new to my channel, make sure you go ahead and click that subscribe button, and please give this video a big thumbs up. Remember, my loves, to do all things with kindness, and until next time, I love you guys. And I truly do believe that this woman had a gift, but I could bet my life on the fact that when it came to us, and probably tons of other people, she was not using it for the greater good.